Hey guys, welcome back to Trilogy Talk. I'm Scott, this is Derek, and we're going to talk to you about what's new with Trilogy. So for the week of February 14th, which is today, I'll get this released out to you guys here later today, before tomorrow, because some of the stuff we're going to talk about affects you tomorrow. But I just want to use this time to talk about what we've seen happening in the Trilogy world, whether it's tournaments, new releases, new programs, events, different things like that. But one of the first things I'm going to start with is last weekend, we'll talk about tournaments. So last weekend at the Dynamic Discs presents the Cedar Hill Chill, which is in Cedar Hill, Texas. We had a great Trilogy showing. We had Coda Hatfield with Team Westside taking first place, shooting a -11, winning himself $500. Looking like he shot a 1039 and 1036, so almost 28 points above his rating to win that one. Second place, Emerson Keith, Team Latitude 64, was back 5 strokes from Coda, so Coda definitely had a good advantage on that field. Emerson shooting a 1002 and a 1027. Take that average, it's slightly over what he's rated at 1013 right now. He won $250, but tying with Emerson is Team Dynamic Discs Miles Seaborn. So we actually had a Trilogy sweep on that one, 1, 2, and 3, but from all 3 different companies. Miles, who's 1017 rated, shot a 1011 and a 1019, taking third with a -6, and he still shot a few strokes under his rating. So still pretty impressive for those 3. Second place in the Masters field was Tony Shirley. Tony Shirley was a 989 rated, shot a 992 both rounds. So slightly about a half a stroke above his rating, but still to take the second place over 8-person field. And that open field was 17 people. So I hope to do more in depth with some of these tournaments when it comes specifically to the Trilogy players for the Trilogy news. This was the first one I kind of looked at. I'm also trying to learn who all the Trilogy players are and get better familiar, because I don't want to necessarily talk about just the big names that we all know. I want to talk about the people who are truly representing Trilogy that we don't know, and I want to get you know better. Derek wants you to get to know you better. All of Trilogy want to know who's Trilogy, who loves Trilogy, who's supportive with it. But either way, last weekend, Cedar Hill Chill, Trilogy sweep, all 3 companies. That's pretty awesome, so I'm pretty excited for that. So, alright, Derek didn't have any part to do with that. He didn't research, he didn't know that's what I was going to talk about, so he kept quiet for that. But he'll be interactive with the rest of this stuff. Alright, so some of the new stuff that's happening this weekend. So tomorrow, February 15th, we've got some new releases, Derek. What do we got? What do we got coming out tomorrow?
Okay, officially releasing tomorrow is we don't have them all here in front of us, but the first runs of the Recoil and Pioneer. There's a new Fusion EMAC Truth with a St. Patrick's Day theme.
Yep.
It's like the Dynamic Disc logo with shamrocks.
The shamrock is designed around the DD logo.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Those are all on Fusion EMAX. I've had some questions about the other molds. As far as we know, at this point, they've only put it on the Fusion EMAC Truth. The Wheat Shield, they've now got on the Prime Burst Deputy, the Prime Burst Marshal, the Classic Burst Judge, and the Classic Blend Burst Warden. The Biofusion Felon now has a bar stamp. Some of you may have seen, I think one of them was leaked out on the Trilogy auction page. Just your basic Biofusion bar stamp. I've seen some nice flag ones out there. The Classic Burst Marshal now has a bar stamp. And then the only other thing really on the new release that was probably worth talking about is this. I don't know if they're really considering it a new release, but it's a new stamp. It's for Grow Disc Golf Day. It's My First Disc. Dynamic Discs is running a little program to try to get people out there to help grow the sport. The back of it's going to talk about what discs are good for beginners. It says recommended first discs, putters, Judge Deputy, mid-range Warrant Truth, drivers Maverick and Escape, and then of course it's got the website, and it says to go there for more information. They're running a program where you can buy these for $3.50 a disc. I believe they are Prime Burst Deputies. And then you have the option to add like a Burst Coin Westside Mini for $1. So you buy these at $3.50 a disc, and they do have a limit of 100 on them, but they're running a reimbursement program where if you go out and you introduce new players to the sport, take some pictures, do a little write-up, send it back into Dynamic Discs, email wholesale@dynamicdiscs.com before November with the picture and the write-up, then they will actually give you a reimbursement credit of $3.50 per disc for up to 10 of these for introducing new players to the sport. So basically you're getting 10 discs free to give out to new players to go out and grow the sport. Which isn't hard to do. You know, grab 10 of your friends, people that have been curious about the sport or whatever, get them together, say, hey, let's go out and throw some discs. You're giving them their very first discs. It's giving it's giving them some information on where to go to learn more about disc golf, and then they can actually play their first round with you. You're introducing them to the sport, and it's costing you nothing. You're getting all the money for those 10 discs back. Now, like I said, you can buy up to 100 of these, but I believe the credit reimbursement is up to 10. Yeah. So $35 of that could come back to you as a reimbursement for growing the sport and introducing people to Trilogy Plastic and to disc golf.
So again, that's growdiscgolf.com. I'm on the site now. There's a ton of information that is on this program, something good to do. Everybody's always asking how they can give back to the sport. What can they do? I don't have time to be a tournament director. You know, I don't have the money to donate necessarily to tournaments, things like that. This is something as a group. Even if you go with the 100 discs, you don't have to. I don't believe you have to buy a full 100 discs. No. So I mean, buy the 10, buy 20, whatever you can do. But as a group, still, it's a good way, easy way, inexpensive way to get discs in new people's hands. So like I said, if you get a chance, growdiscgolf.com, hashtag growdiscgolf. Let's spread that.
I mean, this is pretty much open to anybody, I believe. Mm-hmm. I don't believe this is just open to retailers or anything. At least it doesn't say anything about that. I mean, it's just a great way to introduce people to the sport and get people out there.
Right. So we got these again. The new releases coming out tomorrow, February 15th. In the description of this video, I'm actually posting out another video later today, which will be out before this video comes out. So check out that link, and it'll have a video that it's me trying to be creative and silly, creating a video, but it shows all the new releases and just kind of another forum so you can see what's out there. Again, those are posted in the descriptions as well. But one of the cool things with a lot of these first runs or these new discs in general are the colors. This probably isn't even the best example. It's a day glow yellow. But some of these colors that they have coming out, I mean, some really hot pinks, I mean, blues. One of the things I think Latitude has really stepped up with this year, or going into 2019, that they tried really hard, is to come out with very vibrant colors. You know, I'm sure they're still going to have some interchange colors that are going to transition between the two that aren't going to be the most popular colors, but they're working on getting better looking colors.
Yeah, the first runs of the Recoil and Pioneer, there's 4 main colors. I'm curious to see how DD labels their website. The boxes are labeled yellow, purple, blue, and red. The colors are more, they're equivalent of what I think would be like a neon form of those colors. So the purple actually looks more like, almost like a bright fuchsia. It's kind of a cross between a pink and a purple. The blue is kind of what I'd call a blurple, kind of a purple blue. Obviously, the yellow is pretty bright. It's just a bright neon yellow. And then the red is kind of it's got a slight pinkish tint to it. It's more of a neon type red. It's not like your true red. So keep that in mind when you do go to order the disc. If you order from your local retailer or somebody like myself or Dynamic Discs. If it does say purple, or blue. I'm not sure how they're going to label that, but if they go with the colors on the box and label it purple, blue, red, yellow, just remember you're looking at more a neon version of that color, a more vibrant type version of that color. So don't expect it to be, your basic banana yellow or your basic, grape purple or something along those lines. And there are, I don't want to mislead you, there are a few other colors out there. I've seen some pinkish and peachish and things like that. But those are actually transitional colors. When they're changing from color to color, there's not going to be a full assortment of those out there. Both of these were done in just 4 major colors. I have heard some people mention they do miss the basics, the white and the pink, the brighter colors that we're used to. But let's keep in mind, DD's bringing out some new colors, Latitude's bringing out some new colors, and they do need to introduce those to the market. So this is their time to do that.
So speaking of them, so we got the colors. One thing, we got the first runs again coming out tomorrow. For those who want to know, the stock stamps for these. So if you don't want to mess with the first runs, I don't know what people are going to charge for those. But if you don't want to mess with the first runs, the stock stamps come out on March 15th. So 1 month out to get those stock stamps, to get those at normal pricing for opto style plastic. So just to put that on your schedule.
It probably is worth noting, a change from last year is retailers did not pre-order first runs this year. So what DD got in is what they got in. That's what's out there this year. I don't have a number on that, but we did not pre-order first runs like we have in the past years. So I'm going to assume the amount of them is not quite as large as in the past.
Right. So, all right. So something new that I got in, just kind of real quick, is the Latitude 64. They kind of created their own. They have L64 customs, and they've kind of converted it to a factory store is what they're calling. So goodies and things like that they're playing with out of their store. They have their own auction page and things like that now too. But just kind of on a whim though, I purchased this Ballista Pro. What did I get? A Ballista Pro and an Explorer. And this is in their test plastic. For those who don't know, years ago, I don't even know how many years ago now at this point. You have any guess on when those?
2013?
Yeah, so 5-6 years ago, they came out with a test plastic with like Fuse, Rivers, there was a couple other discs. But anyway, so they...
I think there's a Vision out there.
So they replayed with it a little bit. I'm honestly not sure how different it is. I know they have some details of it on their website for the Latitude 64 factory store. Last I saw, they were still there. But they are stiff. Very hard. I mean, I'm squeezing as hard as I can. You can see it's not bending. But it's very tacky. I mean, so my first thought with this is maybe not cold weather discs because it is so hard. But you get to a point where your hands are sweaty or you just need a little bit of grip, a little wet, rainy, drizzly. I kind of feel like, you get a little dirt and resin on your bag from those chalk bags and get this. They feel tacky and grippy. They do have a little bit of a sheen on top.
This kind of reminds me of the old, the original BT drivers in mid-ranges that Westside had.
Okay.
Not the newer Origio type BT, but the original BT.
So sweet, but yeah, I haven't thrown these yet. I got these specifically to throw. Maybe I'll do a review on them. We'll see. Nice thing with this plastic is they do beat in faster. So if like the Ballista Pro, if it's a little bit more overstable for you, got a harder fade than you want, something like this will probably beat in faster to give you that distance but be straighter in this more baseline style plastic. Again, it's just the test. If it is something you like though, I would order it and I would get several of them, because if it's anything like the test plastic, it may or may not go into production. It may be a one-run thing, and next thing you know, you're hunting them down and you're paying premium prices for them.
And I do think the key with this test material is, in order for it to actually work, I think people need to grab it.
Yeah.
see how it flies and
give them your feedback.
Give Latitude your feedback. If they don't know, it just always stays a test.
Yeah.
So that Ballista Pro is very flat.
Yeah.
The Explorer's kind of flat too.
So, all right. So, a couple dates that are important to know that are coming up. So, if it hasn't already opened in your area, tomorrow the United States Amateur Match Play Championship registration officially opens on UDisc, or however your local tournament director is running that. If you're don't have one running, look into it. Again, a very cool experience. I don't have it in front of me to give you the website. Go to dynamicdisc.com or UDisc. All that information is on there. But it officially opens tomorrow if it hasn't already opened up. A great time. You're going to get, I believe it's a $45 entry fee. You're going to get a Lucid X Escape. And you're going to get a Retro Keystone. So for the $45, that's what you're paying for. You play in a match play. You make it to the top 3. You're getting some kind of credit. You win. You go to your state. You get in the top 3 of state, you win some more credit, and after that $45, you don't have to pay a dime unless it costs you to travel. So again, really cool experience on the match play event. And then the last event just that I wanted to kind of talk about that is coming up is the Dynamic Discs Disc Golf Experience that's at the Broncos Mile High Stadium. That registration opens up on March 1st. I will have that registration link also in the description for you guys to check out. But put that on your calendar. Those things sell fast. I know Derek's already camping out and he's getting ready to buy 8 tickets right off the bat. So he's going to take a big chunk of them. So you're going to have to fight him for it. But a big important date that's coming up. And then for those, I may have another episode before that. But for those who aren't aware, the National Tour and the Disc Golf Pro Tour all kick off here in the next couple weeks. This coming weekend is the tournament in California. Totally just blanked out what the name of the tournament is. Wintertime Open. It's kind of the unofficial start to the season. All the big names are going to be there. Several Trilogy, non-Trilogy style players are going to be there. But while they're there, they're going into next weekend, starting with the 21st of February. Is the National Tour, the PDGA National Tour kickoff, which is in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Challenge. I personally am leaving for there tomorrow. I will be down there. I'm going to try to get what I can while I'm on the road. Maybe I'll put together a video of my whole trip, because after that, then I'm driving to the Memorial Championships, which is the Disc Golf Pro Tour kickoff. So we've had the off season. We've all been sitting around. We have all been waiting. This is the time of year that we're all looking forward to, is getting this season. I don't know about your area, but it's getting colder and colder here. Even going to Vegas, it's still only like in the 40s, which compared to here is heaven, but it's not the 80 degrees that I want, the whole reason I'm going to Vegas. So, but other than that, anything else you want to share?
I was noticing, that's what I was on my phone there for, when you were on the Disc Golf Experience, if you go to Disc Golf Scene to the registration page, they actually have photos of the discs.
Yep.
There's a Dymax, but then there's the other two. I think the Dymax had some information there on what molds. The other two, it shows the images of the actual 2 discs you'll be receiving. One in blue and one in orange, obviously Bronco colors.
Dymax disc available, $20 each on Judges, Truth, and Slammers. This disc may be used in the stadium.
Oh, so that's new this year. You can use the Dymax in the stadium that you purchase as well. So you'll have your 2 discs that come with your player pack, as well as if you purchase a Dymax, you'll have a 3rd disc you can use.
Yeah, so depending on what the other 2 discs, which the picture with the C logo in blue, that's a putter of some kind. So I'm going to guess Judge, Warden, something like that.
And a mid-range.
And then,
it does not say what the discs are yet, but if you did want to see what they look like, you can actually go there and check those out. And I do feel like they've leaked that information somewhere on what that disc was, but I can't remember.
As a quick scan, I don't see it listed here, but all right, man. So get registered for those things. I hope you like the segment with the Trilogy News. I'm hoping to do it regular as things come out, especially as the season comes about. We're gonna always have lots of things to talk about. Sometimes it might be me, sometimes it might be me and Derek, might be me and another guest. But my goal is to always share that content with you, provide a resource for you to always go to. So as always, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until next time, keep sharing the Trilogy love with the world. Check you later.